Hi there, Dolphin Doug here. If you live in Juneau, you probably don't know what I'm about to show you. I'm out here in Lemon Creek. I've got a raven flying overhead, and just a minute ago there were literally 24 eagles soaring over our dump, which is hidden by these trees. And I'm not going to waste my time showing you the eagles, although they're little tiny ones up there. It's always good to have eagles. Today is a history lesson. It's what are these giant, big concrete blocks all about out in the floodplain of Lemon Creek, Juneau. These are historical artifacts from World War II. If you pay attention to your history of the war, the Japanese owned the Pacific Ocean for about 4 months after December 7th, 1941. And one of the things they did was they came up and took a couple Aleutian Islands, Alaskan territory, as part of a show of their strength, that they actually occupied land that was owned and controlled by Alaskans that had people on them. And those couple of islands had a very tough time with it. The natives were treated rather poorly. America came back and freed them rather quickly. It was too far for Japan to extend themselves. But it was a tough time. And Alaska, Juneau was the capital, was on the scale of being attacked. Now, one of the things they did was they built a great big road to Alaska in no time at all. I think it was 9 months through the winter. They put the Alaskan Highway, a single lane, corrugated road from British Columbian roads up to the interior. And then they put a spur road to get down to, I'm not sure which came in first, Haines or Skagway. They had the White Pass Railroad. I'm sure they connected up to that for their supplies. But they were pretty much convinced that one possibility is the Japanese might come and take Juneau. And there was really nothing America could do to defend it for that period of time. The Japanese did not consider it, and I've heard in large part because they did not have accurate maps of Southeast Alaska before the war. Those maps existed, were public knowledge anywhere you needed them, but the Japanese Navy did not trust coming into this area. And they were smart on that. Without good maps and tide currents, because with a 25-foot tide, you can get yourself in trouble. So they didn't come here. But America didn't know that. So what they did is they built 2 giant radio towers so that they could communicate directly from Juneau to wherever they could get their radio call to, so that if Juneau were attacked, at least they could get the word out before Juneau was long gone. So this is with the Aleutians. We suspected the Japanese were up there. We didn't really know what was going on because there's no way for those local islanders to be able to get the communication out. So it wasn't very well communicated. But that's what these bases are. And yes, there's an eagle up there. Am I still on Zoom? Eagles flying all over the place. Just a typical day in paradise. That's what these towers are for. They're the base for these giant radio towers. As soon as the war was over, they were antiquated equipment, and they've just sat out here this entire time. It used to be, back then, I would bet that these towers got flooded by salt water on a regular basis at every high tide. It hasn't been that way the whole time I've been here in 30 years. So come on up and enjoy the history.